Hello, folks. My name is Timothy Tilghman, head gardener at the Untermyer Gardens Conservancy. And on behalf of the Conservancy and the City of Yonkers, I must say we're missing you in the garden. And so instead, we'll take a little walk of the south shade border surrounding the Temple of Love. This was the first border we installed around the temple in 2016. And a real highlight in this border at the moment is Camassia leichtlinii. This is a native North American plant. It is a bulb that produces flowers for about 2 to 3 weeks. If it's in a happy place, which is quite easy because it enjoys most any soil, any sun exposure, it will colonize very well. You can see it leading down this path to some other combinations we have in the garden. Here we have in the foreground Heucherella. It's a hybrid between Heuchera, which you see there in the background, and a Tiarella, and imparts quite a bit of hardiness and vigor. Here in the center of the frame, we're looking at Rodgersia pinnata Hercules with that great purple foliage in the spring, which will be followed by neat flowers in the middle of the summer. And we're looking at a hosta called Lemonati to kind of set everything off. Again, that's Lemonati. Here we have a mosaic of ground covers highlighting an Epimedium Lilafee. You can see the great color flowers with those very deep spurs held above the foliage. That's right next to Gallium odoratum with the white flowers and the really interesting foliage. A very aggressive woodland ground cover, but easy to keep intact. Behind that, we have a weeping Styrax called Fragrant Fountain that will become the dominant plant over time. And stepping down a little bit further, we'll see some Pulmonarias, a really great plant to use in a dry shade area. It has this variegated speckled foliage and really interesting flowers. There's so many cultivars and varieties, it doesn't matter, just pick one that you like and run with it. You can't go wrong with the Pulmonaria. I'm not a big hosta fan, but stepping up to this corner, we've used quite a few. Here in the center is a blue-green Krossa Regal, which will turn into a very large hosta, and that's sitting next to Hosta Fire Island. I love the foliage color, but even more interesting is the red color of these petioles or leaf stems. As the plant matures and gets a little bit more height, those petioles or leaf stems will become much more vivid red and be a bit more visible once the plant gets some height and become really a stunning plant. Here above that, we're looking at a Sambuccus or an elderberry. The birds love the fruit, and we can eat the fruit if we cook it as well. And then just for fun, we have a Symphytum or a comfrey, a variegated plant that sort of works with the hostas, but gives us a little something different. And going down to the bottom of the border, we can see this mix that almost looks like fall happening in spring with a hardy impatiens. That would be Impatiens omiana, and it comes back year after year. It has a nice flower in the middle of the summer. It's next to a cute little hosta called Blue Mouse Ears. We also have another Heucherella in there called Citrus Shock. And behind all of that is a really nice planting of Fothergilla, which is showing its display of color at the moment, covered in these bottle brush-like flowers. The leaves will emerge a bluish gray, stay 3 to 4 feet maximum. It does like the dry shade and gives a really great fall color. Looking across, we can see in the foreground a couple of weeping hemlocks that also combined with these Petasites next to our waterfall. The Petasites, there's two species here, Petasites japonicus and Petasites hybridus, that work well in a wet location. You do want to contain them because they do like to grow out. And there you can see a pair of weeping hemlocks to give it a bit of a different flavor and texture as they work side by side.